Hi everyone, and welcome to a special edition of me spilling the tea on a tarot deck. My name is Debbie, and I am the owner of Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. If you're interested in getting a reading, tarot cards or tea leaves, or if you just want to reach out, this is a special edition because I've actually already done a video on this deck. However, after I bought the Chrysalis Tarot Deck, which I just think is gorgeous, I realized that there was another version or edition that they put out. And I have a little bit of a problem when it comes to tarot cards. And for anyone who's watched these videos, you know I love a good guidebook. So the deck itself, I'm not going to go through it because you can watch my other video, but all the cards are right here. This is the box it normally comes in, and it has your kind of boring guidebook, although this one is admittedly like a lot thicker and nicer than some of the others you would get, but it's I'll call it basic. And that's fine. It does the trick. I'll also just really quickly so that you can see the artist and author here. Holly Sierra is the person who did the paintings for this, and Toney Brooks wrote the Chrysalis deck. So that's what you get in the normal, regular size tarot deck. But then they came out with the deck and book set, which comes in a much bigger box, as you can see. And it's empty now, so that you can sort of see what it is. And the box itself is very similar to the other book. But what it comes with a tarot deck. So yes, I do now own 2 of these decks. I had been using it for a role-playing game, actually. So I figured I was able to convince myself that it was okay to buy this deck again, because I could have one specifically for readings and one specifically for role-playing. Not that I'm able to join the role-playing group as often as I would like, but that's how I was able to convince myself that it was okay to spend extra money. So in addition to the cards and the guidebook that come with the regular deck, so you're getting all of that as part of this, you're also getting a really nice thick guidebook and something else. I'm going to show you that first, and then I'll dive into the guidebook. So this is, and it's not going to fit on camera, but it's a whole layout for a spread, the Chrysalis Fairy Ring spread. Have I used it yet? No, I haven't. Honestly, sometimes life is too busy to sit down and do tarot just for fun, which is unfortunate. But it's a really nice poster that can help you with this particular spread that was designed for this deck. So that's really cool. This book is very thick. It also tells you that the deck was an award winner, which I don't think I knew when I bought the original. I don't think it says that anywhere on here. Perhaps, they came out with this new version of it in part because they won awards. I'm not sure, but it's cool. So we have, our table of contents. There's a foreword, an introduction that talks about the creation of the deck itself. And then from there, it's divided into parts. And we have, and honestly, as excited as I was to get this, have I had time to read it yet? No. So I don't know what LP's Cosmic Insights is all about, but it has energy signature and worldview, and I mean there's all these different like characters that they're using to sort of explore things with that are tied to the cards themselves. So they have that for a while. And each chapter, obviously is tied to a card. which and tells a story, but part 2 is more of what I'm interested in with the meanings behind the cards. So what you get, and there's also a nice explanation of reversals, which is in there. So you get a hand-drawn version of the card and a whole explanation for it that is typically 2 pages. I think some of them might go over. So that's for the major arcana. So it just gives you more insight into the cards, which I love. I love good guidebook. I don't know what to tell you guys. And then when we get to the minor arcana cards, yeah. So, you know, a little bit about that. Talks about the different suits and what their elements are, because of course it's different in this deck. If you haven't watched my other video where I go through it, that would certainly be helpful, because I'm not going through that now. But you can see that, again, the minor arcana cards are given the same space here as the majors. So you're getting all this extra insight into each and every card, and none of the information that's on these pages is the same as what's in the guidebook. So like 6 of Spirals, we'll stop there for a second. I'm going to find it in here, which of course will probably take me a while. Oh no, good, okay. So here's what you get on the 6 of Spirals in the guidebook. Okay, and then here is what you get here. It's a lot more information. It also talks about the inspiration for the cards, so you know a little bit more about where the artist is coming from. So that takes up, you know, the rest of this book pretty much. And the way it's divided is by the suits, but it stops at 10. Because then they have, instead of your traditional court cards, they have the troop, and they explain that here. And so then you have a whole section that's just those 16 cards at the end. And then, let's see. So it talks about the spread that I showed you on that poster. And then there's a whole lot of more acknowledgments from both the author and the painter, and then you know, we have their bios and pictures here as well. So it's a really nice book that I need to find the time to really go through and enjoy. I do not regret rebuying this deck. I admit that it's a little bit ridiculous, and I will tell you that I tried to see if there was a way to just buy the book. I like the poster. I didn't need the poster. It's the book that I wanted. And perhaps someone was selling it on, you know, eBay or something, but I didn't want to go down that route. Maybe I should have, but I figured with shipping and everything, it would probably cost the same amount anyways at the end of the day. And now I have an extra deck that I can use for role-playing, or I don't know, if I end up not using it for that and someone really loves this deck, maybe we can strike a deal. I don't know. But if you like this deck, if you want a reading with it, or just a reading with me generally, whether it's tarot or tea leaves, let me know. You can reach me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. Again, my name is Debbie. I hope you enjoy these videos. I want to know what else you want from me. I do spread videos. I know people want to see me do a tea leaf reading. That one's a little bit harder for me personally to get on camera, but I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, let me know what you want. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will put the link to the other video for the Chrysalis Tarot down below so that you can look at that and see the cards if you haven't already. And have a wonderful day. Thanks again. Bye.